to Question Time. This is a service of 8094 Media LLC and Mana Management LLC, and the purpose of Question Time is to inform and entertain busy business people as they go through their day, provide them with some information that may help them in making good decisions at their business. So today we are having a chat with Al Poschke, State Representative for the 79th District in Michigan, and talking to him about a variety of topics related to doing business in the great state of Michigan. And we are talking to him on location at the Greek Islands Restaurant on Red Arrow Highway in Stevensville, Michigan, which is a wonderful place to have breakfast or any other meal for that matter. And we hope you visit there often. But meanwhile, here's what Al had to say.
A couple of things. It is an exciting time. It's an exciting time, but it's also a challenging time to be in the Michigan legislature. As most folks know, we have a significant budget challenge on our general fund. Right now, it looks like the school aid fund is in pretty good shape, but the general fund has got problems, and those problems are between $1 billion and $1.8 billion. That we are going to have to try to fill. And there are no more really what I would call short-term fixes that are available. Previous legislatures have done things like use the tobacco money, borrowed money, change the fiscal year. All of those tricks and gimmicks are now done. We've got to get down to the hard work of really right-sizing our government, figuring out what constitutionally we need to do, what we should do that is right for our citizens in Michigan, and funding those priorities. So that work has already started, and one of the things that I'm kind of excited about is my Money Appropriations Committee, and that's kind of ground zero. That's where a lot of this work is going to be done. I've got 5 subcommittees that the leadership has put me on, which is a lot. It's more than any other freshman. So they either think I'm really talented or I'm not very smart. But they'll keep me busy, that's for sure. So yeah, we're working on a lot of things. We're reviewing a lot of budgets right now. On February 17th, the governor will come out with a 2-year budget, and all of us are anxious to see what that's going to look like. I think most of us, at least on the House Republican side, favor a 2-year budget, that we get this year's budget done and that we plan for next year. And so folks have an idea of what to expect in the future.
Absolutely. So what kind of issues does someone give you a call about?
Oh,
why call?
Boy, I'll tell you, Fred, they range from someone who's got a problem with the Department of Human Services to someone who can't get their liquor license fixed to we might refer them back to a local government if they've got a local government issue. The problems range from really some instances that are very dire. We've gotten some calls about child abuse that they want us to look into, and we have a good working relationship with Berrien Department of Human Services and other folks that try to resolve problems. So the issues range from A to Z. They really do. And that's an important part of the job and maybe the most rewarding part of our job too.
Okay. Now, in addition to this, you've got your phone numbers and your website and email address. Yep. Put those on the website, so we'll have to go through all that.
No, and when folks look at that, and they can get to the dashboard too, that's up online. The governor's got that up there. What I noted was that we weren't top 10 in anything. There were no green marks by the 5 areas that we're looking to measure ourselves by. And I think that's important. That's another really a business-driven type model, and that's what I think we're trying to get to in the legislature as well. Is we want to be able to measure results and measure what we're doing. So that's the exciting part of this job as well, because I think we're seeing a change in expectations.
And those 5 areas are economic strength, health and education, value for government, quality of life, and public safety. So a year from now, 2 years from now, we're going to be using these same measures to see the progress of the state.
Have we moved the needle? Yeah.
And, so we will be looking at that. I don't know
you notice the Michigan Development Corporation did a similar they call it benchmark study.
Yep.
And I don't know if you had a chance to look at that or not.
I have not, and I know there'll probably be some changes at MEDC too. Those are some of the things, and I have background in economic development, that we're looking to do more things regionally, which I think is the right approach. Mike Finney is the new director. He ran Ann Arbor Spark, very talented, very sharp guy. We've got a couple local connections here too. Jeff Knoll is actually on that board, is on the MEDC board.
Vice President Whirlpool.
Yep, and Sharon Tyler is now one of the she's got a chairmanship or chairwomanship of one of the economic development committees, which that's good news too, under Department of Commerce.
Yes. So, as a citizen of your district, what can I do to help you? Just speaking to all of us, what can we do?
The biggest thing I think is to stay involved, and I encourage people, send an email, pick up the phone, if you've got an idea or you've got a concern, and let me give you an example. There's something, and the internet's a great thing, just like what we're doing here today. But there are things out on the internet, for instance, that says, I want to do away with term limits. Well, that's not true. Representative Tyler has a proposal out there that would slightly change term limits. Right now, term limits, as you know, are 14 years, 3 terms in the House, 2 terms in the Senate. What her legislation would do, that I co-sponsor, would be to say it's still 14 years in either chamber. That way we get some institutional knowledge in the House, because right now we have one person who's dealt with these budgets for more than 4 years. That's it on the House side. And you see a lot of folks, and I don't mean this to disparage anyone, but when they look to run for the Senate, they're running for their next office, maybe instead of just being focused on the business of the House of Representatives. So I think it's a debate we could have, and the way this thing would work is it would go to a vote of the people. This is not something the legislature would, we're voting on, it would be a constitutional amendment, the public would get to vote on it. I think it would be an interesting debate to have. Have term limits actually been a good thing for Michigan or not? I think that's an interesting debate to have. I am not for extending the time of term limits. I am not for changing the years of service at all. I think 14 years is plenty for people to be in the legislature, and I want to make that very clear to folks. We're actually working on a bill that we're going to, that'll be introduced next week. And this is called the Local Government and School District Fiscal Accountability Act. And as some folks may have known, my second day in office, I was contacted by some of my constituents and city commissioners in Benton Harbor about the situation with the emergency financial manager. And I got involved and sent a letter to the governor and the treasurer, and subsequently I met with the governor and the treasurer, and we are rewriting Public Act 72, the emergency manager. This is going to be a sweeping reform. It is going to give emergency managers a little more power, but it's going to make them accountable too. And we're going to set up a process where emergency managers, there's an end game terms, and the local municipality or school district also for 2 years will have to report their expenditures to the state. So you can't go in there and clean it up and then immediately to have somebody come in and undo everything they've done. I think that makes sense. So this is going to be a bill that some folks might think is controversial, but I think it's the right thing to do. And when I ran for office, I ran to do big things and to do things that are important. I don't think we can create jobs if we have instability in our local governments, our state government, or our school districts. People are not going to invest millions of dollars in your town if they have that type of instability. So this legislation would give emergency managers the power to redo contracts, to sell assets, to enter into consolidation of service agreements with neighboring municipalities. Really a set of tools that I think will allow them to do what the intent of the original bill was to get in there and clean up the mess and let's get things fixed. That's important. Excellent. But thank you for the opportunity, Fred. I appreciate it. Best of luck to you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Again, we hope you enjoyed the discussion with Al. I apologize for the noise in the background. We commit to having that remedy the next time we do an on-location shoot with someone. But again, my name is Fred Pieplow, and I am the CQA for Question Time, and that is Chief Question Asker. That's my job, and I enjoy it. So, any questions or comments, give us a shout, send us an email on the address on the screen, and we would be interested to know who you would like us to interview or what topics you would like discussed, and we will make it happen. So we encourage you to challenge yourself to higher levels of performance personally and in your business, and if we can assist in any way in that regard, just let us know. And meanwhile, have a great day. Bye now.